From exclusive items to portion sizes, we wanted to revisit and find out all the differences between McDonald's in the US and UK. This is Food Wars. It has been 4 years since we made the first US versus UK McDonald's video, and a lot has changed since then. That episode became extremely popular. Millions of views, a cultural moment if you ask me. And not a week has gone by that someone has pointed at my face in public and told me that Food Wars is their favorite show on BuzzFeed. Close enough.
Things have come and gone for the menu, prices have changed, and somehow Joe looks exactly the same.
Yeah. I may look the same, but trust me, my cholesterol is a nightmare. So we're gonna go ahead and compare McDonald's again with some fresh twists. Let's jump in.
Drinks from a UK McDonald's come in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. Our medium drink in the UK is now what our large used to be.
In the US, our fountain drinks come in 4 sizes. The smallest is the kids or extra small. Then we have the small, the medium, and the large. Our large cup size shrunk.
Let's double check how much both countries are getting in a large soda. So it turns out a large UK McDonald's fizzy drink is now 600 millilitres, and that was without the ice. Maybe get a few more mils out of that. Or not. 600 millilitres. When we first shot this 4 years ago, an American small was almost the same size as a UK large. However, it does seem like we're slightly catching up with America, and now our large soda is closer to an American medium. UK fries come in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large.
US fries also come in 3 sizes: small, medium, large.
Last time we did this, the US large was 46% bigger than ours. Let's see if that's still the case.
Let's see what we got here.
That's actually really impressive. They've given us exactly 130 grams of fries, which is exactly what we got in 2020.
Now we're at 183. That's a difference of 7 grams. What is 7 grams worth of fries? That's 7 grams right there. So it is possible this many were lost in transit from bag to hand via my mouth. Sorry. The McNugget portion sizes have not changed since 2020. In the US, still get 5 nugget variations. The 4-piece, the appetizer, the 6-piece for the kids, the 10-piece, the 20-piece, and of course, our largest, the 40-piece.
Nuggets in the UK only come in 4 sizes: a 4-piece as part of a Happy Meal, a 6-piece, a 9-piece, and our largest size, a box of 20. For the mathematicians out there, that makes the US's largest size 100% bigger than the UK's.
Side by side with the shot from the original video. The iconic Big Mac obviously comes in 1 size. Let's go ahead and weigh it.
So the UK Big Mac came to 214 grams, which is actually an increase from the last time we did this. So maybe our Big Macs are growing.
It's 202 grams. It's gotten 4 grams heavier.
Here is everything you'll find on a UK McDonald's menu that you don't have in the US.
Here's everything on the menu at a US McDonald's you won't find in the UK.
There are a lot of items here that weren't there 4 years ago. The UK menu has really branched out, and I think generally it's gone in a good direction. In the US, you have the option to, of course, buy a double cheeseburger, and I guess if you asked them, you could put bacon on it, but there's no standard menu item for a bacon double cheeseburger, whereas on the UK, this is on the menu in its own right. Changed the bacon a little bit that they use on this. Previously, we had these really thin, quite sad-looking bacon rashers, whereas now it's more like classic UK back bacon. You might also notice that the bun looks different, but more on that later. Next up, we have the triple cheeseburger. Taking a brief detour away from meat options, we have the McPlant on the UK menu. This thing's been around for a couple of years now. It's basically McDonald's own version of a meatless beef burger. They reportedly spent a long time developing this because they just weren't happy enough with the other meatless burger options out there on the market, and particularly weren't happy with the vegan cheeses. So this is their own vegan cheese blend. Honestly, as far as vegan burgers go, this is actually one of the better ones I've had. The mouthfeel is very, very similar to what you would expect from a meaty burger. The other plant-based burger option in the UK is this, the Vegetable Deluxe. You have the same vegan mayo that they use on the McPlant, but instead of a meat patty, you get these veggie dippers. I've made it known on many occasions that I'm not a huge fan of these. I remember ages ago when we filmed the first one, Joe saw these and looked mortified.
Off with this. Yo, this sucks ass, dude.
We also have 2 limited time offerings on the menu at the moment. We have a quarter pounder with cheese deluxe and a double quarter pounder with cheese deluxe. Apparently in the UK, when deluxe is concerned, that means you're adding lettuce, mayo, and tomato to a burger. I'm a really big fan of the classic Quarter Pounder, and I think what it really does well is simplicity. And I think by adding more things, particularly that tomato slice and also the lettuce, I think you're actually veering away from what makes a Quarter Pounder a Quarter Pounder. I'm pretty sure the US has deluxe Quarter Pounders as a permanent menu item.
Yes, we actually do have the Quarter Pounder Deluxe. Looks to be the same, right? Let's get a look at that. It's got lettuce, more lettuce, tomato, onion. I think you'd be hard pressed in this country to find a fan of the Quarter Pounder with cheese who's like, I wish it had a slice of tomato and lettuce and swimming in mayo. In the middle here we have this meat monstrosity. It's a double Quarter Pounder with cheese and bacon. What was Michael Jordan had his own signature burger in the 90s. I think it was a Quarter Pounder with cheese with bacon. This is so good. I think the bacon on the Quarter Pounder, genius idea, should be available all the time. Right, next up we have the McDouble. Now you in the UK are looking at this and thinking, oh, a double cheeseburger, we have these, and not so fast. This is a McDouble. What's the difference? One less slice of cheese. Why does this exist? Who is like, oh, there's too much cheese in this double cheeseburger? It's never been said out loud. Does anyone want to defend this versus the double cheeseburger?
The McDouble, which is my personal favorite burger at McDonald's.
I'm curious to know who would get this over a double cheeseburger.
Yum.
Next, we're on to the chicken options. Now, we have some exclusive items in the UK when it comes to chicken, but also some differences that we wanted to point out between similar things in the US and the UK. For example, here is a UK McCrispy. In the UK, a McCrispy is a breaded and fried chicken breast. You have this sourdough-style bun with lettuce and mayo. In the UK, I'd say that lettuce and mayo are pretty much your standard toppings for a chicken sandwich. Is that the case in the US, Joe?
I wouldn't say so, Harry. The McChicken has lettuce and mayo. But in America, as we segue into chicken sandwiches, here's the McCrispy, has nothing except 2 pickles. Nothing. No. I'm getting nothing. It doesn't taste like Southern fried chicken. It doesn't taste like really fried chicken. It's a flavorless, bland, fried piece of chicken. They do also have a spicy McCrispy. And your boy's about to do a 180. I do really like the spicy McCrispy sandwich. All they did was put the spicy sauce on it, and it's suddenly like one of the best fast food chicken sandwiches. Yes, I said it. Nothing at Chick-fil-A touches this sandwich. The spicy sauce is fantastic. That's a good sandwich. Oh man. In the US, an exclusive twist to the chicken sandwich can be ordered as a deluxe version. Just like the Quarter Pounder with cheese, you can also have your McCrispy ruined with stuff you didn't want in the first place. Lettuce, tomato. I would definitely get the deluxe over the plain, but the deluxe is just fine. But this is great. Also want to point out you can get the spicy McCrispy as a deluxe sandwich as well.
Another limited time menu offering that we have in the UK right now is the Chicken Big Mac. As the name suggests, it's basically a regular Big Mac, but the beef patties have been swapped out for what are effectively chicken mayo patties. It's a bit more like a chicken nugget in terms of texture and flavor, but you still have all the other components of a regular Big Mac, including the sauce, the cheese, the pickles, the onions, the lettuce. I do think you could also just put Big Mac sauce on anything and I would like it. It also looks really similar to the chicken Maharaja Mac that Nick Hill tried in the India season, although I imagine this one has a lot less flavoring. The UK also has a spicy chicken sandwich option, but we call ours the McSpicy, which I think is a better name than the spicy McCrispy in the US. The McSpicy is okay. I think it misses out on a couple of things that make the McCrispy really good. For example, you don't have that sourdough style bun, you just have the standard bun. The mayo I think is also slightly different. This is just a very standard mayo, whereas the McCrispy uses this kind of buttery mayo. And I think in terms of the heat, all they really do is just kind of like run this through some chili powder. Sticking with the chicken options, in the UK you'll find chicken selects. These are basically just chicken tenders. They're slightly fancier than the nuggets, and as such they come with like slightly upgraded versions of the sauces, but again, more on that later. Here we have the mayo chicken. Ooh, they've burned the bun. I really like the mayo chicken. It's like a savor menu staple. In my mind, it's just like a smaller and cheaper McChicken. We also have a bacon mayo chicken, and as the name suggests, it's the same thing, but with bacon. We're sticking with the UK for the time being because we have an entire product range that the US doesn't have. Wraps and salads.
The wraps and salads disappeared from the menu here a few years ago, and good riddance. I've never enjoyed a wrap.
Most of these involve chicken and bacon in various different combinations with different sauces. We'll start with the wraps. We have 3 meat options here, which involve chicken, which can either be had grilled or crispy. This is the sweet chili chicken one. Obviously, you can see the crispy chicken in there. You also have some salad. In this case, it's cucumber and lettuce. And then in this one, you have some mayo and a chili sauce. We also have a Caesar and bacon crispy wrap, the barbecue and bacon chicken wrap, and the spicy veggie one. Instead of the chicken pieces, you have veggie dippers in there. I will say I don't often order the wraps, but they are pretty popular. I think partly due to the Wrap of the Day campaign, which has been running for a long time now. Basically, depending on which day of the week it is, one of these wraps will only cost £1.99, which is still a pretty good deal. I don't know how they've kept that running for the entire 4 years we've been doing this, but hey, I'm glad they have. And then for the salads, we have 3 options. We have a chicken and bacon salad, we have a chicken salad, and we have a side salad.
I'm realizing now the UK seems to have more exclusive items than us, which is interesting and was not the case back in 2020.
Speaking of, the UK has a few exclusive side options to go with your meal. We have these cheese and herb bites. Usually on the UK menu, there's some kind of fried cheese option. It changes slightly throughout the year. Usually it'll be like mozzarella or maybe halloumi sticks, but at the moment we have these cheese and herb bites. They're also served with this rich tomato dip. If for some reason you're a huge fan of the Veggie Deluxe sandwich, you can also just get the veggie dippers as a side. And then we have 2 fruit bag options. In the UK, you can get a bag of carrot sticks, and while the US has apple slices, we have apple and grape.
The only exclusive side we have here in the US are apple slices.
What about Happy Meal options? In the UK, we have a few main course options that you won't find in the US. Firstly, we have fish fingers. I guess in the US, you guys tend to call them fish sticks. In the UK, fish fingers. They are a beloved food, kind of a kid's food, but also a lot of adults, myself included, will eat fish fingers. Fish finger sandwiches particularly are a delicacy.
The only exclusive Happy Meal option we have isn't an exclusive product, it's more like a portion size. Both countries have chicken nugget Happy Meals, but in the UK, you only get 4. Here in the US, you can get 4 or 6, baby. 6 nuggets for the kids. Hey, look what I found. That extra small fry from earlier that didn't include apple slices again. And yes, the nuggets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got a honey mustard sauce and honey and the toy. I'm confused. Maybe not. I asked for Captain America. Okay, Captain America Brave New World. This is a movie or a show? And you can get Captain America in flight, Red Wing, Falcon, Diamondback, Ruth, the Red Hulk. There's a Red Hulk now? He's red?
Next up, it's the breakfast menus. In the original episode, we actually didn't have any breakfast exclusives, but that's changed a lot because now we have plenty. Starting with the breakfast wrap. I actually like the way that McDonald's packages their wraps. They come in these things where you just take the middle part off, and then bang, you get a little wrap holder. You can get this either with ketchup or with brown sauce. I went for the ketchup option today. So the breakfast wrap is a limited time offer. It might not be sticking around for long, but I hope it does. It basically contains every component of the other McDonald's breakfast items in one handy menu item. So in here, you have the egg, cheese, bacon, you have the sausage, and even the potato. McDonald's, if you're watching this, keep this around. People love it.
Starting with the biscuits. This is something from the original US versus UK Food Wars where I introduced our biscuit sandwich. UK, you call cookies biscuits, we don't. So in the UK, biscuits are cookies, or what we call cookies. You think they're scones or scones. It's neither of those things.
Joe, you were so close on the whole cookie biscuit thing. What you guys call biscuits, we would actually kind of call scones, or scones, depending on where you're from. And the thought of putting breakfast food in between them is kind of weird. They're usually reserved for cream and jam for an afternoon tea. Man, me as a breakfast biscuit, set the tone early on for Food Wars graphics. Love that one.
We get all of our breakfast sandwiches in biscuit form. This right here is the sausage biscuit. We also have the sausage and egg biscuit. Ooh, they were generous with the egg, look at that. And the bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm gonna try this one because I feel that the bacon, egg, and cheese is my preferred breakfast sandwich meat combo. That's so good.
The drawback is it's so dry.
Next up, we have the Mighty McMuffin. Similarly to the breakfast wrap, they've kind of just taken all of the components of the other McMuffins and combined them into one. You get the cheese, the sausage, the bacon, and the egg in one muffin. On the subject of combining all of the components into one, we also have the breakfast roll. It's the same ingredients, the bacon, the sausage, the egg, and the cheese, but this time it's served on a floury roll. We also have a bacon roll from McDonald's. This one is very simple. It does what it says on the tin. It's literally just bacon on the floury roll. This one is with ketchup, although I think you also have the brown sauce option as well. A bacon sandwich is one of the most classic British breakfast menu items. I'm glad that they've got one. I don't know if they do the best bacon sandwich on the market by a long shot. It's a lot of bacon, it's dense.
We've been doing this show for 4 years, and for 4 years I've been singing the praises of the McGriddle. I am McGriddles #1 fan, and I love to say it. These are the McGriddles. Folks, if you're just joining us, McDonald's took a breakfast sandwich. They're like, get out of here, bread, and hello, mini pancakes. And while we're at it, we're gonna inject syrup inside of them. Let's get a look at that M there so you know where they're from. Let's take a look on the other side. Injection points of the syrup. I love these things. Once again, bacon, egg, and cheese. Gotta try it. American food engineering at its finest. These have a 100% hit rate. Every time I have them, they're great.
I love how Joe's love for McGriddles hasn't wavered at all since the first episode 4 years ago. He's still their #1 fan. I have now tried them, and I have to say, they are pretty good. I don't know if they're quite as good as Joe thinks they are, but they're good, and I kind of wish we had them here.
You can also get it with just pancakes and sausage, if that's your thing. And of course, sausage, egg, and cheese.
Next up is a funny menu item. This is the muffin with jam. Although actually today, they forgot the jam, so it's just a muffin. All they do is just butter it and then usually give it to you with a little sachet of Bon Maman jam. I don't know why I did the French accent for jam as well, jam.
We end with English muffins, which no diss to English muffins, but like third choice on the breakfast sandwich menu, third. You know, shout out to Ray Kroc. He was like, he loves Eggs Benedict, how to put in a sandwich for him. He figured it out, or he paid someone to figure it out. You got the hollandaise sauce. The first of its kind, so the OG, so gotta give it up. Gotta give it up for the Egg McMuffin, but I haven't had one in years. I wouldn't get this over any of these. Also, we have the sausage McMuffin, that our sausage McMuffin includes, oh no, it should include egg. Guys, what happened? This could be my mistake.
Then, of course, we have a few exclusive McMuffin options, starting with this one, which is the bacon and egg McMuffin. Your ears don't deceive you. For some reason, McDonald's in the US doesn't seem to have bacon and egg as a McMuffin option. You can only get it as part of a breakfast biscuit or a McGriddle. And then we also have a double bacon and egg McMuffin option. On the subject of doubles, that's another thing which strangely is exclusive to the UK, because here we also have a double sausage and egg McMuffin. Might be my favorite menu item as well. Joe, if you tried to order this in the US, would they let you?
Harold, you talked about the double meats. Now, double meat is not an official menu item at McDonald's, but ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you can have it your way. I go ahead and customized and had a second sausage patty. But wait, have it your way is Burger King. That's the wrong one. Okay, I got the song right. Well, McDonald's, they'll do whatever you want to.
Here we have the cheesy bacon flatbread. Yeah, this one always makes me a bit sad. If you get them fresh out of the oven and they're nice and hot and the cheese is still melted, I can see why maybe this would appeal.
If you want to go ahead and lay out your breakfast sandwich in its 3 components and also make sure at least one sea turtle dies, great news. You can get the big breakfast, which is the sausage, egg, biscuit, deconstructed. My thoughts, if you can do it in sandwich form, why would you do it in non-sandwich form? This is what annoys me about this. I mean, how much waste this show has produced, and I'm suddenly on my high horse. Also, wait, before I do this, are there plenty of hash browns? Also, I've been informed that I can have this hash brown because Yuli's back, and they love these hash browns, so there's one waiting for them over there, so.
Now here's a classic British breakfast staple. We have porridge on the menu in the UK. Now Americans will know porridge by oatmeal. I actually have occasionally ordered porridge from the UK McDonald's. It's okay, like if you're on the move, you need an early breakfast, McDonald's is the only place that's open, but you don't feel like you need a full McMuffin thing. Porridge is fine, it does the job.
Also, probably for legal reasons, they also offer a fruit and maple oatmeal thing. Here's your oatmeal. All right, plastic container number 1, sliced apples. Plastic container number 2, cranberries and raisins. Plastic container number 3, the spoon. And it all comes in plastic container number 4. If you can't eat all of it, don't worry. Plastic container number 5 makes it portable. So do something for the environment, have some fruit and maple oatmeal. In the US, the sausage burrito. Look, this isn't a burrito. Just want to make that up top. I don't know, it's closer to a taco, but it's not really a taco. I think that this gets like an F as far as what's in it, how they produce it, everything about it. That being said, I absolutely love this thing. I get these all the time. I'll get This is embarrassing. When I get a McDonald's breakfast, I always get one of these on the side. I'm so ashamed. But also their Mexican style salsa, which is not Mexican or Mexican style. And I don't know if you can legally call it salsa, but yo, it's so good. I love this so much.
That brings us to everyone's favorite segment, Sauce Talk 2024.
Sauce Talk.
Firstly, we have that rich tomato dip, which is usually served with the cheese bites. It is pretty similar to the ketchup, but like a little more herby, maybe, a little more tangy. More along the lines of a marinara rather than a ketchup.
We got exclusive sauce in the US, starting with a savory, allow me to pronounce this wrong, McDonald's sauce. Take McDonald's, flip the M over, make it a W. Here's what I know about this limited edition sauce that I totally couldn't get my hands on. For years, anime shows like Cowboy Bebop and Sally the Witch have kind of, let's just say, skirted copyright issues by instead of featuring McDonald's, flipping the W and making it McDonald's, a made-up thing. Well, McDonald's saw this in pop culture and was like, we're gonna go ahead and steal that back by making a sauce with that logo. I think even the ad campaign has those animations in it, right? All I know is the sauce is completely gone. One cup like this, so this size of the sauce, is going between $3 and $7 on eBay here in the US. Doesn't sound like that much, but I wanna say that's like a what, infinity markup, because these things are free.
This one is a balsamic dressing. This comes with the salads. It's actually not bad.
And you also get mayonnaise, we don't have. Yellow mustard, don't have. Honey mustard. Man, honey mustard just took over in the 90s. Suddenly it was everywhere and everyone thinks it's so great. I do like honey mustard.
Next up, we have one of my personal favorites, which is the sweet curry dip. So good. It really is quite sweet, I will say.
Spicy buffalo. This is, I think, is what you're supposed to dip your bland, dry chicken sandwich in. I don't think this is the spicy sauce. That's very good. Not too spicy. Good call on this one.
We actually have two barbecue dips in the UK. This one is just a classic barbecue dip. Again, comes in the unflashy packaging and is free. It's okay, it's a little like acrid, maybe. Then we have a couple of slightly fancier dips, which are designed to be enjoyed with the chicken select, but can still be purchased with anything else. If you're not getting the selects, these ones will actually cost you money. And we'll start with the smoky barbecue dip. It's a bit thicker and gloopier. It's basically just a much better version of the regular barbecue dip. I actually do think if you're a big barbecue sauce fan, it's probably worth paying the difference and getting the fancy barbecue dip versus the cheap one.
Creamy ranch, guys. Ugh, it's country and ranch, I swear to God. Tastes like all other ranch, because it all tastes the same. That's right, Hidden Valley.
Personal favorite of mine, sour cream and chive. Really tangy from that sour cream. There is a third one of these fancy dips, which is a sweet chili dip, which unfortunately they forgot today, but it's really good. We love our sweet chili here in the UK. And then I guess the golden syrup that comes with the porridge could count as a sauce, so for science, let's try that with a chip. I expected that to suck. It's actually not that bad.
And honey. Am I gonna taste honey right now? Tastes like honey. We got good sauces here in the US.
It's dessert time. We'll start with a few exclusive McFlurry options. Firstly, we have a limited time Biscoff McFlurry. And as another limited offer one, we have this Galaxy Chocolate McFlurry. For those who don't know, in the UK, there's kind of a war between Galaxy and Dairy Milk chocolate. Dairy Milk is owned by Cadbury, Galaxy is owned by Mars. I enjoy both. I'm a diplomat, you know. And hey, the ice cream machine was working today. That's the main winner. Another exclusive McFlurry in the UK is Smarties. And then our final exclusive McFlurry option are these Maltesers McFlurries. I feel like we should also compare the packaging here, because in the UK, they've recently made a move to get entirely recyclable McFlurry packaging. As you can see, this is actually made of paper, and even the spoons now are paper too.
Apparently the only exclusive McFlurry we have is the M&M's McFlurry. Let's take a look at that packaging. Paper, which is more recyclable, but still plastic top. But when mini M&M's came out, I was like, who cares what size they are? But actually mini M&M's I like more than regular M&M's. The candy shell to chocolate ratio is more in favor of the candy shell, which I like. And that you can taste in the McFlurry. These are two classic sundaes, fudge, caramel. Can't believe you guys don't have these. These have been around since I've been around. It's good that they make it clear so you can scrape the sides so you know where all the pockets of caramel are. Whatever the caramel they use in this, it's maybe my favorite caramel. I have many caramel opinions. But this tastes like real caramel, but the stuff they use in those coffee drinks tastes like artificial. And of course, fudge. I mean, dude, shout out to this McDonald's. This is generous fudge, right? It's normally not this much. Wow. Maybe they knew. They're like, $300 worth of McDonald's, I think it's the Food Wars guy. Controversial opinion, I like these sundaes more than I like McFlurries. Come at me, comments. Come at me. And also you can get the classic vanilla swirly cone. I didn't get it because by the time it got here, it'd be soup.
Moving away from ice cream, we also have some baked dessert options, including this chocolate brownie. Had it before, not very good. We have a mixed berry muffin, actually pretty good. A triple chocolate cookie, and a toffee apple donut. You might also be able to find a sugar ring donut, but unfortunately we couldn't get it today. Then finally, we have 2 pie options right now. Firstly, we have the classic apple pie. I'm aware that Americans can get apple pies, but ours have a crucial difference. In the UK, we still fry our apple pies. This used to be the case in America, but now they're baked. They stopped frying them after a health panic around 1992. To me, that is a huge downgrade because I love these things. These are phenomenal. You hear that crunch, America? That's what an apple pie should sound like. And then finally, we have a limited edition Galaxy Caramel Pie. A Galaxy Caramel bar is a milk chocolate bar with liquid caramel pieces inside, and they've turned that into a pie form. They've kind of turned the dough into like a chocolate pastry. It's fine, I'm just very loyal to the apple pie.
The dreadful baked apple pie. Boo! Congratulations, UK, yours are still fried. Ours is baked. There's one McDonald's in Downey, California that's about a 30-minute drive from where I currently am that still fries them. One of the few that still fries them is also one in Hawaii. I've been to the UK. I have had the fried apple pie. It's much, much better than the baked. This is okay. I think that they should have the fried and let us decide. Chocolate chip cookie.
We have a few hot drink options in the UK that you don't have in the US. We have a flat white. A flat white is kind of similar to a latte, but has kind of a creamier consistency to it, and is usually slightly smaller. At a UK McDonald's, you can also just get an espresso. And of course, this being the UK, you can get an English breakfast tea. I think they use PG Tips branded tea bags. I won't give you my full tier list of teas right now, but PG Tips is pretty good for me.
Here in the US, we have a bunch of exclusive coffee options at McDonald's. We'll go ahead and review some of them. I clearly didn't get all of them. Starting down here, caramel macchiato. This has been a through line of this entire show. We do coffee drinks. I talked about this at length with Starbucks. Is it actual caramel or caramel flavor? It just tastes really plasticky and chemically to me, and that is no exception. Not good. Then we also have the caramel cappuccino. The caramel flavor is not as pronounced on these as some other fast food caramel drinks, but still, I don't like that. This one right here is the French vanilla cappuccino. Maybe I'm being biased, but I really don't like cappuccinos. What I don't like is like the hot milk drinks, which a lot of these have. I just think it's hot milk. I want coffee. That's so funny I just said that because I took a sip of that. That's actually pretty good. That's actually very good. Okay, I would get that, I like that. I flip and I flop. That's the show, all right? The premium roast coffee. Harry asked if the premium roast coffee is just regular roast coffee, and that's what it is. We just call our coffee premium roast coffee. Maybe it sounded a little bit fancier. I do like McDonald's coffee. I do like it. It's pretty good. You can also get any of these hot drinks in iced form. Let's get that list on the screen. Ba-bam. One iced drink I did get is the Mocha Frappe, because they can't say Frappuccino, because that is a trademarked term by Starbucks. Not the biggest fan of Frappuccinos. I don't like this thing that happened sometime in the past 20 years where suddenly it's acceptable to have milkshakes in the morning. That's what this is. It tastes like chocolate. I like it just fine, but come on, guys. I mean, it's good, but it's like, how am I supposed to drink that and not A, have a headache by 11 a.m., and B, do absolutely no work? I'm working right now, believe it or not, so I can't drink this. Already I'm like, I think we're done with this video. That's all it took. And last and honestly least, you can get at McDonald's, for some reason, hot tea. Wah, wah. But here it is. They give us a cup of hot water and their McCafe tea. They don't even have some brand. They have their own brand of tea.
Finally, we have the exclusive cold drink options. We have a McCafe iced beverage, which is a frozen strawberry lemonade. When this arrived, it was entirely ice and looked kind of like a slushie and was very cool. It has now melted, but also it's like retained that color gradient. Looks kind of like a tequila sunrise. I'm here for it. Gotta say, actually really do like these. Hadn't really ordered these until I started doing Food Wars. And now, nice little refreshing summer beverage in the rotation. Next up we have Coke Zero. Now correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I didn't see Coke Zero on the US menu. I just saw Diet and Regular, which we also have.
There is no Coke Zero at the US McDonald's. We do have Diet Coke. Yeah, Diet Coke has its own flavor. I guess Coke Zero is an attempt to taste exactly like Coke and not have sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Diet Coke does not taste like Coke. They taste completely different. I think that's by design.
In a similar vein to the Coke Zero, we have a couple of other Zero beverages, including a Sprite Zero, a Fanta Zero orange flavor, and an Oasis Zero summer fruits. For the Americans who haven't tried an Oasis before, it's a still, so uncarbonated beverage, and it's kind of like a squash. It's like a summer fruits mixture, kind of diluted with water. Pretty tasty. We also have this Robinson's Fruit Shoot. These are great. These were like a lunchbox staple when I was growing up. It's again kind of like a squash, so a diluted fruit concentrate. This one is again flavored with apple and blackcurrant. And finally, we have an exclusive milkshake. Now, in the US and the UK, you can get chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, but in the UK, we have a banana flavor milkshake. It's got that really artificial banana flavor that we all know and love. If you don't know why that's the case, go Google banana apocalypse. It's really interesting.
What you won't find in the UK is Dr. Pepper. I'm not getting it. You know what Dr. Pepper is, though. You have it in your country, you just don't have it in your McDonald's. One thing we do have that you guys probably are wondering about, this bright orange thing, is the High C Orange Lava Burst. This is commonly referred to as orange drink. Hang on. It's not juice. It is not juice. There is no fruit in this. We just call it drink because we don't know what to call it. We also have a frozen Coke and a frozen Fanta Raspberry Blue. We've done the frozen Cokes and frozen Raspberry Fanta things so many times on this show, and by the time we get them, by the time we shoot, the whole thing melts. It's a disgusting mess. It doesn't look good. It tastes terrible. Not doing anymore. I'm saving it. You know what they look like? It's a Slurpee. Over here, though, strawberry banana smoothie. Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. The next one we got here, lemonade. The American style lemonade, not carbonated, not like Sprite. It's its own thing. Next to it, we have sweet tea. Tea with, I don't know, 2 pounds of sugar in it, I think. Sweet tea's nice. There's also unsweetened iced tea. The Honest Kids Organic Happily Ever After instead of Happily Ever After. And chocolate milk. Vitamin A and D, baby.
At this point, we wanted to take a moment to recognize some of the menu items that we've lost since we first started filming Food Wars back in 2020. And to remember some of our favorite menu items that we've lost along the way.
For me, the biggest loss has been the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich. It was taken off the menu in 2020 when COVID forced McDonald's to reduce the menu. The McCrispy has since taken its place, but it's not the same. And it's not just me. People miss the original so much that there is a change.org petition campaigning for its return, and I urge all of you to sign it. It's what the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich would want. They also strike the buttermilk crispy chicken tenders, also fantastic, also gone.
The lost menu item that I missed the most is also a chicken sandwich option. It's the Chicken Legend. Particularly the hot and spicy mayo version of the Chicken Legend used to be my favorite thing on the menu, and sadly was lost in October 2022 when McDonald's introduced the McCrispy. Issuing another plea to anyone from McDonald's who's watching this, if you're watching this, please bring it back.
Here are some other menu items that we've sadly lost along the way. Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments, and maybe McDonald's will see those comments and take note.
In 2024, a UK Big Mac contains the following: 493 calories, 24 grams of fat, of which 8.8 grams are saturated, 42 grams of carbs, of which 9.4 grams are sugar, and 880 milligrams of sodium.
In 2024, the US Big Mac contains 590 calories and all this. That means the US Big Mac has more calories, fat, saturated fat, and sodium than the UK version.
What if you add a regular fries and a regular Coke to that to make it into a Big Mac meal? In the UK, you end up with this. Apart from the sugar, everything is pretty much exactly 50% of your recommended daily intake. And to be fair, almost all of the sugar is coming from the Coke, so if you're watching your sugar consumption, just swap that out for a diet version.
If you want to do a regular meal with a regular fry and a regular Coke, that bumps the whole thing up to 1,120 calories. And of course, all this. The US meal tops the UK version in every statistic. The biggest difference are in the saturated fats and sugar. Although I want to point out that the sugar is probably because of the Coke, which is way bigger than theirs.
4 years ago, when we made the first US versus UK McDonald's episode, we looked at the nutritional values of a large Big Mac meal with a chocolate shake. Back then, one of those in the UK came to 1,440 calories. That same meal today actually comes to 1,405 calories, meaning that McDonald's in the UK has found a way to shave 35 calories off the meal.
Back in 2020, a US large Big Mac meal with the chocolate shake came to 1,870 calories, which is 93.5% of your recommended daily intake. It is 2024, folks, and this meal comes out to 1,870 calories. At the exact same. Say what you want about McDonald's, they are consistent.
In 2024, a UK Big Mac contains 56 ingredients. Here's what that looks like.
A US Big Mac consists of 68 ingredients. That's a 21% increase compared to the UK list. Here's the full list. The main difference is in the bun. Ours is 31 ingredients compared to 19 in the UK's. Some noticeable differences include malted barley flour to give the bun a darker golden color and improve the fluffiness. Soybean oil, which is a very common cooking oil in the US due to being a major US crop which isn't really grown in the UK. Folic acid, which is also known as vitamin B9, that's mostly commonly used as a pregnancy supplement. Other notable differences in the ingredients come from the pickles found in the Big Mac. In the US, our pickles contain polysorbate 80, an emulsifier. It's fairly common in the US foods, but studies have found that it may promote tumor growth in lab mice. Give me my guy.
There's one ingredient in the UK Big Mac that's not found in the US version. Chalk. Chalk, or its scientific name calcium carbonate, is added to UK flour to ensure that Brits get calcium in their diet. What about the fries? McDonald's fries in the UK contain just 3 ingredients: potatoes, oil, and salt. Surely that's all you need to make fries, right?
Wrong. McDonald's in the US contains 6 ingredients, or 9 if you count the multiple frying oils used. Canola oil is just what we call rapeseed oil over here in the US. But what about those other differences?
A lot of them come down to a change McDonald's made to its fries back in 1990. McDonald's used to deep fry its fries in beef tallow, but stopped doing this after a public health campaign against it. They replaced the beef tallow with a mixture of vegetable oils. Not only did this cause them to lose that gently beefy flavor that they had, but ironically, it might have made them less healthy for consumers.
This is because the new vegetable oil mix used ended up containing more trans fats than the beef tallow it replaced. This led McDonald's to change the oil recipe again in 2007 to eliminate trans fat, resulting in the oil blend they use today. What about those other ingredients? Sodium acid pyrophosphate is added to stop the potatoes from discoloring during the prep stage of cooking. That might be why US fries tend to look more visually appealing than those in the UK. Check these out, UK. Not like those floppy ones you got over there in the UK. Look how stiff these are. Thank you, sodium acid pyrophosphate. And the natural beef flavoring ingredient? As you might be able to guess, that's something McDonald's added in an attempt to recreate the taste of the old fries. We did a fast food chemistry episode where we did make the fries with beef tallow, and I gotta say, they were amazing. Wasn't even close. The beef fat fries, way better.
While we're looking back at the old episode, it's also worth noting that some of McDonald's ingredients have changed since we shot back in 2020. The fries in both countries have remained the same, but McDonald's has recently rolled out a bunch of changes to both the way it cooks its burgers and the ingredients used. These changes are being rolled out in the UK, the US, and Australia.
Here's the US Big Mac bun ingredients list from 2020, and here's the new list. That's a total of 11 new ingredients. McDonald's describes this new bun as having a buttery brioche-style recipe for a soft and pillowy textured bun. And this does check out. Most of those new ingredients are proteins and starches that are aimed at improving the texture of the bread without adding eggs and butter like a traditional brioche would.
Here's the 2020 Big Mac bun recipe. And here's the 2024 Big Mac bun recipe. McDonald's has removed monocalcium phosphate, calcium propionate, and deactivated yeast from its recipe, but it's added potato starch, pea protein, dextrose, maize starch, and natural flavorings for a net increase of 2 ingredients. I actually got a side-by-side comparison of the old and new burgers at the McDonald's UK headquarters, and I gotta say, side by side, there is a stark difference. The new bun looks a lot glossier and a little bit darker as well. You can really tell that they are toasting them for longer. Taste-wise, I do like the new one. I think the texture is good. It's got more of a bready feel to it rather than a spongy feel. Although I'm not a huge fan of the kind of buttery flavoring that they've added, particularly with the Big Mac, which is already a little bit sweet thanks to the sauce.
Other changes include toasting the bun for longer, giving the burgers a tighter sear in the grill to lock more moisture in, and leaving things like lettuce out of the fridge in a shorter time to help retain its crunch. I gotta say, this might be the first time I've had a Big Mac since they've changed it. Seems like it's more sauce. Half a piece of cheese! Half a piece of cheese! What? Seems like there's a lot more sauce on it, so it's hard to tell. But this is the bun. This is a new bun. It definitely has a crust, the crust of it has a stronger flavor. It still tastes great. I'm a little startled by the cheese thing though.
Let's take a look at some of McDonald's prices. Here are some current prices in London in 2024. A Big Mac is £4.49, a regular Big Mac meal is £6.69, 20 chicken nuggets will set you back £5.99.
Here's how those items stack up right now in the US. A Big Mac is $5.79. A regular Big Mac meal, $10.19. And 20 chicken nuggets, $8.99. One of the biggest differences is the Big Mac meal, which is 20% more expensive over here.
We also wanted to check how much the prices have increased since we shot the first episode in 2020. Here are some 2020 UK prices. The Big Mac was £3.19, and the regular Big Mac meal was £4.89. 20 chicken nuggets cost £4.59. We also used to have a saver menu, which had many things costing around £1 or less, including a cheeseburger for 99p, a hamburger for 89p, and a McFlurry for 99p. So that means that in the past 4 years, prices have increased by this much in the UK. 40% for the Big Mac, 36% for the Big Mac meal, and 30% for the 20 chicken nuggets. While we still technically have a savers menu, there is no longer anything on there that costs less than £1. A plain hamburger will now cost you £1.19, a McFlurry is £1.69, and a cheeseburger £1.39. According to the Bank of England, inflation from 2020 to now should have been around 21%, meaning that on average, McDonald's prices have risen 15% above inflation.
Here are the 2020 prices in the US. The Big Mac was then $3.99, a regular Big Mac meal was $5.99, and 20 chicken nuggets were $5. That means prices have risen this much in the last 4 years. The Big Mac is 45% more expensive, the regular Big Mac meal is 70% more, and the 20 chicken nuggets, 80% more. We also used to have a value meal featuring $1, $2, and $3 price points. This was introduced at the start of 2018, but it's been quietly phased out as prices have risen. Business Insider couldn't find any items on the menu for $1 when we checked back in 2023, and I can't see any on there today. According to an inflation calculator we found from the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, inflation should have increased costs by 17% since 2020. That means on average, McDonald's prices have gone up an average of 48% above inflation. We're getting gouged. It gets even worse if you go as far back as 2014 and look at the last 10 years. According to Finance Buzz, McDonald's prices have risen on average 100% in the US. The worst offenders being the McDouble, which went from $1.19 to $3.19, and the medium fries from $1.59 to $3.79. What? We're filming this in the middle of May, right before McDonald's releases a limited $5 meal for June. That meal will include either a McChicken or a McDouble, small fry, 4-piece nugget, and a small drink, all for $5. Excuse me. Ha 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 ha. They're gonna give us this and be like, great news, this is only $5. This shouldn't be $5. I bet without the drink, I could fit all 3 of these in my mouth at once. I'm not going to, but I feel like this is 2 bites, this is 2 bites, this is 3 bites. Okay? Laughable, McDonald's.
For me, McDonald's prices really do seem symptomatic of a general cost of living crisis that is developing in the UK, which has been really frustrating over the past few years. When we were ordering some of the food for the shoot today, some of the meals that we were putting together were costing, £8, £9, which for me is just far too much to be spending on something from McDonald's. I think you can also tell that they have risen above inflation because not everywhere has increased this much, and it really does feel like now you can go to a restaurant or a slightly more upmarket chain and get just as much food for less or the same amount of money as a McDonald's meal. For me, the core appeal of McDonald's has always been the price. It's cheap fast food, it's cheap and cheerful, does the job, and I don't know, it does feel like it's increasingly losing that cheap factor. If you'd have told me 4 years ago that I would still be doing Food Wars in 4 years' time, I don't know if I would have believed you. At the time, we were trying something new, but honestly, we had loads of fun making it. The audience really loved it, so yeah, we were happy to keep making more. I do still eat fast food when I'm not filming, so thankfully, doing this show hasn't killed my love of fast food.
Food Wars has changed my opinion on fast food menus because I didn't realize till doing the show that I'd probably been getting the same 1 or 2 things at every fast food chain my entire life. So this show gave me an opportunity to try just about everything on every fast food menu item. And yeah, I know I've dogged on a lot of stuff, but I've also been pleasantly surprised by some things I normally wouldn't have gotten before. So it's been cool to be able to try all the different fast food and snacks and stuff I wouldn't normally get to be like, oh, that's what that tastes like. Now I know. Frequently asked questions from the viewer.
One question that we get a lot is, do we shoot these at the same time? And the answer to that is no. Usually I will shoot my part first, send the footage over to Joe, he'll shoot his side, and then also react to the stuff that we filmed. We also get asked a lot, what happens to the food when you shoot? The answer really is that we try and eat as much of it as we can on the shoot day, which is myself, the crew as well getting involved, also donating it to friends, family, and sometimes charities as well in the local area. We try and minimize the amount of food that we throw away because we have to do big orders for this show.
The food after we're done shooting, everything I bite we throw out, everything I haven't bit, the crew kind of divvies up against himself, and everything left over we donate.
What about some big picture stats for McDonald's? According to Statista.com, McDonald's had 39,198 stores worldwide in 2020. The number by the end of 2023 was 41,822. So despite the pandemic, McDonald's has managed to steadily increase its store count across the globe in the past few years.
While over a number of stores have increased, McDonald's is actually available in fewer countries today than it was 4 years ago.
As of when we're filming this, McDonald's has pulled out of Russia, Belarus, and Kazakhstan as a result of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The Russia-Ukraine conflict isn't the only one that's impacted McDonald's. The company faced backlash and a boycott after its Israeli franchisee donated meals to the IDF amidst the ongoing Israel-Hamas war and Israel's subsequent military operations in Gaza. In response, McDonald's has actually agreed a deal to buy back its franchises in Israel from the license holder Alonial in an attempt to rebuild its image in the Middle East and around the world. McDonald's also pulled out of Bosnia and Herzegovina after its license to operate in the country was revoked at the end of 2022.
I don't know anything about tea. So what I'm gonna do here on camera is prepare the cup of tea the way that I think it's supposed to be done. So this is how I think you're supposed to make a tea. Put it in there, kind of do one of these. And I'm assuming the longer it's in, the stronger it is, correct? It has changed color. Did I wait long enough?
Usually they recommend you wait 3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes?
That was what, 10 seconds?
What? How long is 3 minutes? I'm thirsty now.